I am Luisa Estriga from Porto University, and this presentation is on students' perceptions about teaching towards an inclusive and meaningful handball experience. Teachers need to experience evidence of the benefits of inclusive practices by training, school support, and university collaboration. Despite the efforts of pedagogy and didactic courses to shift physical education towards a meaningful participation in learning, pre-service teachers remain unprepared to solve the problems of marginalization, exclusion, and underachievement, namely in handball teaching, where the traditional technical and teacher-led practice is still prevailing, not giving place to innovative game-based approaches. The main purpose of this study is to capture the opinion of PE students about handball classes, where PE pre-service teachers try to use inclusive and game-based approaches, considering the diversity of students' characteristics, needs, and how they engage and learn during the process. This is a participatory action research study framed open a scaffolding process involving a pre-service teacher without experience in handball teaching or coaching, a PE teacher educator, specialist in specific didactics for handball, myself, and a school PE collaborating teacher. The participants were 28 students from a private high school in the Greater Porto urban area, located in the north of Portugal. The process lies in interactive cycles with planning, action, observation, reflection about planning with systematic monitoring through video recording and offline analysis. A major focus was placed on how to enrich the quality of the students' learning process in handball. How did students react? What should be continued or changed? What game problems to approach next and how? This experience was carried out during a handball unit of 14 lessons, where sequential game forms were introduced step by step. Here the final target was 5 versus 5 in half court. Therefore, tactical complexity was shaped and increased through interlinked game forms. Free-flowing attack 5 versus 4 plus goalkeeper. Next, wide attacking play 5 versus 4 without pivot, and then 5 versus 4 with pivot, and finally free-flowing attack 5 versus 5 plus the goalkeeper. As this is a follow-up work, all sessions were video recorded and all the involved educators took field notes about the ongoing process. The class was divided into 4 teams with few elements each, 7, that were preserved during the whole unit. The teams were made by the pre-service teacher to ensure balance and mixed teams, boys, girls, and with different playing abilities and knowledge. Authentic, accessible, and inclusive game forms were designed, which shaped rules according to the instructional focus. Learning tasks and action constraints were introduced and shaped during the process, attempting to trigger less skilled students' active participation and action. In Portugal, and for this age group, the school curriculum points at teaching the full handball game, 7 against 7, as we are observing here. Now, pay attention to the girl with the green t-shirt. Is she being involved and engaged in the game actions? How can we make this experience more inclusive, accessible, and challenging for all? Sometimes the reduction of players and/or the usage of numerical advantage is not enough to provide practice quality. In this example, the girl is receiving and passing the ball without moving. Therefore, here it would be necessary to differentiate instruction and to introduce action constraints to foster participation in learning, such as, after passing, it is mandatory to move towards another spot. Change the task to accommodate individual difficulties and stages of learning. In the provided example, the 2-on-2 situation is more difficult than 3-on-3 that was also tried. And finally, positional 3-on-2 shifting to 3-on-3 until middle court line. This last task revealed to be more dynamic, inclusive, and meaningful for all the players, no matter their skill levels. A mixed method study was used that combines qualitative and quantitative data collection and analysis in different movements of the process. Here, we will only present the results from the semi-structured interviews done with less skilled students at the end of the unit about the experience. When questioned about what the experience was like, it was answered, "I liked it very much. It was very interesting despite the limitations of COVID-19. I really enjoyed belonging a team. It helped me to overcome shyness." Considering teamwork, what did they like more? Improve the relationships with colleagues that I didn't have many interaction with. As a team, finding ways to beat other teams on tournaments every Friday. What did they like less? Tournaments, because there was a lot of confusion between referees and athletes. What I liked least was the exaggerated competitiveness, because when the game was over, they would always argue with the referees. During practice time with their team, they mentioned that the relationship was peaceful, very good, they always helped me. During the competition, it was highlighted that as a team we got lost because there was lots of competitiveness and individualism. Sometimes they didn't give me the ball and I was left after the game. What did they learn? It was answered. To pass the ball and restricted dribbling helped a lot. Shooting when in an open situation, because I always had difficulties having the initiative to shoot and teammates encouraged me. Helping others because they helped me too. What could have been better? The best players usually tried to solve the game problems without involving others. The less skillful players were sometimes left out of the game actions. It was not easy to take responsibility, so there were failures. It was difficult to know what to do. This experience reinforced the value of using instructional strategies to answer students' diversity, allowing the effective participation, accessibility, and learning for all. Thank you.